going to talk about Hello Beautiful from Anna Politano. A very trendy book. It won Goodreads last year, and I was like really excited to read this book, and it wasn't as good as I thought, to be honest. We are following 4 sisters: Cecilia, Erin, Julia, Sylvie. And we also have this male character, which his name is William, that he plays a really important role in this story. He met the sisters through his girlfriend. His girlfriend is Julia, and he found in this family the family that he never had. His parents were like so rich, and they just sent him money and they don't care about him at all. So he found on the sisters this love, the sisterhood thing that he felt in that moment that he needed, and that's why he decides to marry one of the sisters, Julia. In this story, we are following the different situations that happen to each of the sisters. However, I will say that in my opinion, basically the main characters were this love triangle that the author created between Julia, Sylvie, and William, that I did not like it. I felt it was like, really? Like, now we're gonna have 2 sisters fighting for the same person? So I didn't appreciate that, but okay. I didn't feel that it was a good comparison or a new version of Little Woman. I don't think it was the case, because in this situation, this guy actually married one of the sisters and they had a kid, and he decides to leave the family, not because he was like a bad guy. It was most because he didn't feel enough to be a good father, because at the beginning he didn't even want to be a father. He didn't even want to live the life he was living. He was just feeling really pushed by his wife, Julia, and in order for him to just make her happy, he started giving up all his dreams to become living something that he was completely, I don't want this. So he became really, really depressed, and that's where all the situation happened. And one of the sisters is really caring about him and feels so much compassion and empathy for the depression that William is having, and decides to take care of him, and she fell in love with him and he fell in love with her, and they have this really, really difficult situation because the sister Julia is married with him, and they don't know how to handle this. So that is something that happened, and then Julia decides to leave to New York to do her life. And when she finds out about this situation, she decides to tell her daughter, your dad is dead. That's basically what is happening. So it's a lot, this book. And the mother of the sisters, she decided to leave them because she is completely like, I'm done with you guys, bye. The dad is also an alcoholic and he died. So it's not like a really like happy family. I think it has like a toxicity and it has a lot of issues, and each of the sisters had a lot of things to work because of their childhood, and it was like really difficult for them, and we're following how to resolve this situation on each of them, and also how the mother is like completely in a denial of what's happening. I felt that it was a lot in a very short like time of like the book, like a few pages. I feel the author was like trying to having so much problems instead of focusing on like one thing, and I don't know, I didn't really enjoy the book, but I also don't have anything really good to say about this book. Like, I feel the plot, once I found out about this love triangle between the sisters, for me was like, really? And also the way it was resolved, situation I did not really agree. I think it was the easiest way to do it. I know it's very emotional, and I understand, like, people were like, how can you say that? But I don't know, I just feel when it's like a death or something like that, it has to be really justified and really emotional, and I felt it was a way to resolve the situation. I would love to know more about the other sisters and more about their own life. And yeah, and the name Hello Beautiful is just because the dad is how they used to say hello beautiful to the daughter. So I don't know, I didn't feel like this book was great. I gave them 3 stars. It was okay, you're gonna be entertained, you're gonna be like okay, but it's nothing like a real like connection there. And having a love affair from 2 sisters is just like no. And yeah, for this guy who was just leaving, it was just a lot. Instead of and I feel it was completely like unrealistic, you know, like if you're gonna touch about the picture, like just go more deeply. I don't know, I'm just saying it's not something that I personally like it. I had more expectations about that, and yeah, 3 stars. For watching my video, and I'm gonna see you next time with a new adventure.